Ja, hallo, willkommen zurück zu KOTOR. Wir sind immer noch auf Tatooine und versuchen uns jetzt HK-47 zu kaufen. Und dann die Sandleute zu infiltrieren. Jetzt gehörst du mir.
Statement. I see you have purchased me, Master. I find this a satisfactory arrangement. My restraining bolt will be deactivated when you take possession of me. Am I to accompany you now? Shall I kill something for you? Answer. Indeed. I am most eager to engage in some unadulterated violence. At your command, of course, Master. Statement. I will enter into your service now, Master. I am certain you will make adequate use of my primary functions. My gears are practically quivering with anticipation. Acknowledgement!
Böser, böser Robo.
Oh, it's you again. Good hunting. Yes?
Ich glaube, ich erspare euch das Zurücklatschen zu der Enklave der Sandleute. Das wird ein bisschen lange. Deswegen gibt es hier jetzt einen kleinen Schnitt.
Interjection. One moment. I believe I understood that, Master. It may not have been his intention, but he did actually communicate something. Translation. Result. I believe I have succeeded in confusing him, Master. We have shown an interest not common among outsiders. Translation. Translation. He is expressing disbelief, as am I, but his duty requires that he report to his chieftain. Extrapolation. It would seem that we are at least worthy of curiosity for the moment. I would much rather this get bloody, Master, but it is your call. Translation. I can translate with some guarantee of accuracy that he is demanding to know why he should let us survive this encounter, Master. Extrapolation. I understand that you are force-sensitive, Master, but I lack sufficient knowledge to make an accurate assumption. Hypothesis. Perhaps your ability does not take the place of actual language study when the subject is out of the ordinary. Or perhaps the Sand People confuse your ability because they actively refuse to communicate with most outsiders. I have no data on this, sadly. Translation. Translation. He claims he has no reason to believe you, Master. Your kind have tainted this land with machines and uncaring, ignorant feet. Translation. He requires proof of good faith. We must make a contribution to his people that shows we are not a threat. Shall I blast him now, Master? Translation. Translation. He plans to move his people farther from Anchorhead, but they need to build up stores of water first. He says you must aid him. Translation. He wants moisture evaporators from the Zerka. If you deliver them, he will order that his people reduce their attacks on miners. Translation. Translation. He says you will get no more answers until you have proven you are an ally of the Sand People. Translation. Translation. He does not believe you, Master. We will only be allowed to re-enter the Enclave when we have the evaporators with us. Translation. We are to be escorted outside. He will wait, but he doesn't believe we are coming back.
What?
Zurück nach Anchorhead.
Greetings again from the offices of Zerka Corporation. Yes, we're still waiting for you to return with the Sand People Chieftain's gaffy stick. I'll reward you well when you do. We don't have any new information on the subject. It's still possible that they have an enclave in the far south of the Dune Sea. And I would remind you that you did agree to do this task for Zerka Corporation. We expect completion in a timely manner. I should remind you that you were not retained as a diplomatic representative. You are a hunter, and should go after your prey as we agreed. You are not authorized to do anything other than deliver what was promised. Do so, and don't talk of this foolishness again. Very well. Of course. For your needs here, we maintain a fully stocked storehouse. Speak with Greta Holda about any purchases. Certainly. Please pose your questions to the representative kiosk on Coruscant. Business hours, please. I'm sorry, but I can't help you. Very well. Of course. For your needs... Of course. I could just tell you now. No sense in being so secretive. It's all fairly obvious. Mining operations here have not been a success. The ore is substandard, and there's less of it than surveys indicated. With the Sand People raids on top of it all, it's no wonder this planet has been abandoned before. The company would be foolish to stay. It will be costly, but in the end, leaving will be cheaper than staying. I imagine all the heavy equipment will be abandoned. It's not worth shipping out things like sandcrawlers. Maybe the Jawas will find a use for them when we're gone. That's a laugh. No one knows. There are odd energy fluctuations on this planet, but they defy analysis or explanation. But the effect is obvious. Ore taken from Tatooine is useless for construction. It degrades incredibly fast. Word is getting out about it, too. We're running out of buyers. Zerka Corporation is not doing well here. We can't ignore evidence that Anchorhead was settled more than once before, and abandoned each time. There's probably a century between each attempt, just long enough for records about why it failed to disappear. The Jawas scavenge ancient tech all the time. It's a remote world. Who knows what's here? Very well. Farewell.
Ki mulira kun king. Tong hitwama ag inko tune. Baba Hassan Shan. No ba mulira tilai kunka. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune chuna mulira. Tong hitwama jikonga. Tong kipa nonku nek abog. Baba Hassan Shan. No ba mulira tilai kunka. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune chuna mulira. Tong hitwama jikonga. Tong ki mulira kun king. Tong hitwama ag inko tune. Baba Hassan Shan. No ba mulira kakin cha nawabakaon.
Ich erspare euch das Gelatsche. Zurück zur Enklave der Sandleute. Yo, Java, do you even Utini?
Kavadumpaku, paliamu kapata, bonanachaku, I...
Unawilo, ieta upiso, kinkunya pamuribati.
Oh, see you again. Good hunting.
extrapolation, this guard doesn't appear honored to have the job of greeting us. Translation. Translation. He says we may enter only if we have the items the chieftain asked for. Translation. Translation. He will take us before the chieftain, as he was instructed to do. Translation. He did not expect us to return, Master. He wonders if we have brought the moisture evaporators.
Kann ich ja wenigstens angucken, wenn man mit ihm redet.
Translation. Translation. He does not trust you, Master, but you have done more than any other outsider. They will not attack, and he grants you his chieftain's gaffy as reward. Translation. The attacks will be reduced, and he will allow you to explore this enclave, but be warned that any lack of respect will result in death. Protocol. If you truly want this sadly peaceful arrangement to continue, be careful of what you ask. Protocol. This will be a very sensitive topic, Master. You will want to be careful with your questions or risk offending him. Not that that is much of a worry. Translation. Translation. He says that the fact that you have to ask, this is just one more example of your ignorance as an outsider, Master. He says you are blind. Translation. His people believe they are part of the land, living with it. You and your kind dare to raise yourself above it. You remove yourself. Translation. That act of removal makes you an outsider, separate from all that is important. You could never understand how unwelcome you are. Translation. Translation. He says that outsiders use machines to convey them and to make their lives easier. This severs a connection with the land. Translation. Connection to the soil must be made through flesh. A sacred animal is the only external tool to be used. Translation. Translation. He says that the use of these blasphemous things will only be tolerated because outsider interference has forced it upon them. Translation. If your kind had not come here, he would not have to defend their ways or their land. Translation. Translation. He says that he will not, Master. There is one storyteller in each clan, and only he may recite the histories. Translation. Translation. He says that you don't understand. They must never be told to someone who might say them incorrectly out of ignorance. Translation. To speak them in error is a blasphemy punishable by death. Only their greatest warriors are even permitted to listen to the tales. Translation. Translation? He doesn't know, Master. His people usually kill outsiders. Since you are an outsider yourself, that would not suffice. Translation. The greatest challenge for a warrior is to face a great dragon, the largest predator on Tatooine. Fight one of those, and bring back a dragon pearl. Discussed. I think he's making fun of you, Master. He doesn't believe an outsider could do such a thing. Translation. Translation. There is a dragon in the far eastern Dune Sea, but he claims you could never defeat it. Here is a map to the area. Translation. There is a hunter, a Twi'lek, that is sometimes seen out there. Perhaps he would be of some help. Translation. Translation. Stones polished in the gullet of the beast. Apparently they are valuable items. Protocol. We should not keep him long. It is an insult to take too much of his time. Unless the plan is to blast him when you are done, of course. Translation. Translation. We are free to leave.
No problem. Got it.
Ja, okay, dann lassen wir es mal lieber sein halt.
Igratukaku Chichiya, Mambo Pamuko Varuba, Kupa, Unario, Wakataki, Igratukaku Chichiya. Ukiki, Chigratu, Nepatawi Shakala, Igratukaku Chichiya. Okumige, Chupachokuna, Kumaka Chisa Punsa. Okumige, Chupachokuna, Kumaka Chisa Punsa. Unario, Wakatimani Koratuna no Kumulira, Okumige, Cholakin Chimua, Blala Mucha. Unario, Yeta Upiso, Kinkun Yabamurirachi. Unario, Wakatimani Koratuna no Kumulira, Okumige, Cholakin Chimua, Blala. Unario, Yeta Upiso, Kinkun Yabamurirachi.
I'm tired of waiting, Comed. How big can this dragon of yours be? I'm going in.
Runda di hotonga kun honkabi. Ona kun bez ching palamule tungking ba nunotek. Tuka chikun ita hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku honkabe. Ka chikun ita hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku. Runda di hodonga kun honkabi. Ona kun bez ching palamule tungking ba nunotek. Tuk. Mucho shak pakat. Kieno no namapaule rachikun. Runda di hotonga kun honkabi. Ona kun bez ching palamule tungking ba nunotek. Tuk nincha tukunne mulerabes. Ka chikun ita hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Jedo badawana ni di bobo. Tong na bungsha nununya. Tong patukashmak talea. Runda di hodonga kun hunkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tungking ba nunotek. Tuk nincha tukunne mulerabes. Ka chikun ita hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Runda di hodonga kun honkabi. Ona kun bez ching palamule tungking ba nunotek. Tuk nincha tukunne mulerabes. Ka chikun ita hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Runda di hodonga kun honkabi. Ona kun bez ching palamule tungking ba nunotek. Tuka chikun ita hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku. Runda di hodonga kun honkabi. Ona kun bez ching palamule tungking ba nunotek. Tuk nincha tukun. Ka chikun ita hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Runda di hodonga kun honkabi. Ona kun bez ching palamule tungking ba nunotek. Tuk nincha tukunne mulerabes. Ka chikun ita hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Jedo badawana ni di bobo. Tong na bungsha nununya. Tong patukashmak talea. Runda di hodonga kun honkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tungking ba nunotek. Tuk nincha tukunne mulerabes. Mucho shak pakat. Kieno no namapaule rachikun.
The Force fights with me!
Yeah.